this ministry people with anointings upon their life. God gave this ministry people of helps that they were able to assist. God gave this ministry a lot of stuff. Boy, a lot. And so anytime God will give for the work of the purpose and the mandate of the mission, you better expect that the enemy will come in to try to hinder and try for the purpose of stopping the work. Come on, they don't care about me or you or you or you or you. But if he can hinder you by weakening you and you won't want to be a part of the covenant anymore. Hello, Jonathan. Come on, he knew. I'm going to lay down everything because I understand this covenant and it's not in me. It's in what God is releasing in this hour. You know, so we have to understand that the enemy will come. You're a target. Anytime there's a purpose involved, we are all a target for the enemy to come and weaken. Come on, we've got to recognize this. The spirit of Saul comes in and tells them lies. This is what the spirit of Saul will do. As soon as there is a purpose, there's a mandate, there's a mission, there's an assignment. The spirit of Saul, come on, somebody shout, recognize.
Recognize.
The spirit of Saul will come in and tell them lies like, what about your calling?
Come on.
What about you? Who's helping you? Who's pushing you into your purpose and your destiny? If you help them, they'll take everything from you. They'll take your position, they'll take your royal robe, they'll take your people, sheep still. What about you? See, that's what the spirit of Saul will do. Because of that jealousy. Come on. Not jealous about me. Not jealous about this ministry, because literally when you have physical eyes to see, there's really nothing to be jealous of. I'm serious. I don't drive a fancy car. I don't live in a fancy house. Hello, I don't have a lot of people in my church. So why is there jealousy?
Go ahead.
Recognize. Purpose. So when folk come telling you about me, him, her, recognize. She don't got nothing. So I don't know what you're jealous about. Come on, we got to understand this. The spirit of Saul will be released when there's purpose. Thinking, causing the people to think they're never going to accomplish their ministry. Never going to accomplish their mandate. Because they're always trying to push the mandate of bishops. Always trying to push Prophetess Tracy so she could travel the nation and have her name in lights. No, sorry. This is the lie of the spirit of Saul that comes in. Amen. So you understand that this is not it. Come on, because the spirit of Saul will come in and say, what about your mandate? You're never going to accomplish it, Jonathan. You're never going to be the next in line for this. Jonathan already knew. Jonathan already knew. He didn't have it. It was David. It was in the bag for David.
You know what I like about this story is during the time of David, there was a young man by the name of Mephibosheth. Mephibosheth was the next in line for the kingship. He was not of this family of David, but he was next in line. But the problem with Mephibosheth was he was dropped as an infant. He was dropped and he became crippled. Yes. And so what happened is when David became king, all of Saul's family were running from David for fear because they thought David was going to kill him. But David had a heart after God. He didn't want to kill none of Saul's family. He loved Saul. He loved his family. And so guess what? When Mephibosheth was, they took him away, the servants took him away, saying, we got to hide you because, David is loose and he's going to become king. And so Mephibosheth had an anger towards David because the family of Saul used to talk about David all the time. The family of Saul, they despised David and they were jealous of him and they said evil things about David. And so the whole family had this evil picture that David just wanted the throne so he can control people. Right. So he can do all these things. And so what happened was Mephibosheth was hiding and David says, I got to find him. And so David finds him. His servants go out and they find Mephibosheth. The Bible said that they would have to carry Mephibosheth everywhere because he was from a baby, he was crippled. And David said, bring him to my house. And Mephibosheth was thinking, oh, he's going to kill me. And so when he gets to the house of David, David honors him like a king. He honors him like a king. And so he places him in his house and he says, what I have belongs to you also. And so he basically puts him right back into his position. Even while he's crippled, even while he can't do nothing, he can't make nothing happen for his ministry, he can't make nothing happen for his life, he can't have no royalty, but because the heart of David says, listen, you're a part of me. I'm not trying to take this kingdom for myself. This is who you belong to.
Amen.
And see, that's a great example of us, that we need to understand that the heart of God is one that says, listen, we're in this thing together. It's not about my ministry, her ministry, or us trying to go to the nations for ourselves. This is for what God has given us. This is an inheritance. And so many people that are crippled, that can never get there, all you have to do is sit in the midst of David. All you have to do is sit in the midst of a heart of David. He's going to get you to your royalty.
Yeah. And can I add to that? That is covenant. Because when Jonathan loved, the Bible says Jonathan, his heart was knit to David's, there was a covenant made between Jonathan and David. Covenant. Mehizabeth. Let's edit that. Anyway, was Jonathan's son.
That's right.
That's right.
And there was a covenant agreement with Jonathan and David that when his son came forth,
That's right. That's right.
that he would be able to see. And this is where the enemy, he tries to lie to us. When Saul came in and told Jonathan, as long as he's on the face of this earth, as long as David is on the face of this planet, you will never be in line, nor your seed will be in line for the throne. So let's kill him now. Come on, this is a spirit that's running rampant. Not trying to kill me. I'm not taking it personal. There was a day when I did take it personal, but this is not to take it personal. This is to realize that there's a purpose. An intent of God that's being downloaded right now in this hour.
That's
that
right.
The enemy is rising up, stirring up more than ever to try to hinder us, to stop, to seize the work. Come on. Because you've been sent here, because you've been called here, the enemy is going to target you.
That's
Going to
right.
come to you and tell you all sorts of stuff, whether it be, you're the best thing, to weaken your hands, say you're never going to fulfill your call.
Come on.
What about your ministry? What about your mandate? They're doing that. You're over there all the time, 24/7, praying for them, praying for this, giving your money here, giving your money there. What about you? Come on. How many of you have, in your religious times, been promised, oh, God has a ministry for you? And you're working. I mean, it's something that is put into us religiously. So we're continuing to work for our ministry, and then all of a sudden, when somebody comes and says, can you be a minister of helps here? You can. I remember asking somebody one time, a prayer warrior, when we were first starting the ministry, and I said, consider being as a strong prayer warrior. I said, consider being a prayer warrior for our ministry. And he looked at me and he said, you don't understand. I've got my own ministry. I've got my own ministry. See, can I tell you that is the lowest level?
That's below 30 gold.
That is way below. That is the lowest level. Come on. I want you to recognize what we are in right now, purpose, so that you can come out of that, 30, it's not even 30-fold. Come out of that me, myself, and I mode that these spirits can constantly come to you, spirit of Saul constantly come to you and weaken you. Yeah. My ministry isn't going. Yeah, you're right. I'm giving all my money. Yeah, I'm doing this. I'm giving all my time. It weakens you. Thinking the lower level, what about my ministry? Amen. This is what the spirit of Saul tried to do over there. To try to push him to thinking that he will never accomplish, even though God had made a covenant promise with Mehizabeth, that he would be upon the throne as well. Amen. And so we have to understand our mandates, listen guys, they are locked into each other.
That's right.
Amen.
You ever seen those gears that, come on, if they're out of gear, out of whack, they won't turn. They'll be lodged in there forever. You'll have to do whatever you can. But when you get gears that are perfectly meshed together, it causes the whole entire thing to go this way and that way. And it's all producing, according to Ephesians 4:16, we are a body fitly joined together, compact, so that every joint supplieth. Our mandates, our ministries. Hello, God has a ministry for you. Yes. He does. Let me bring it back up, because I tear down and I like to bring back up, build back up. Amen. He does have a ministry for you to accomplish, but can I say that it is locked?
It's connected. That's right.
With mine. That's why I can't build without you, and you can't build without me. So come on, recognize when the enemy comes in to try to weaken your hands to leave this place. Amen. The devil is a liar. Amen. See, ultimately, Jonathan's continuation to go back. Okay, this is key. This is key, guys, and I'm going to end here. Amen. Jonathan's continuation, even though he knew that the kingship had been stripped from Saul, he knew that David carried the new order. Jonathan's continuation to go back and forth from Saul's camp, which represents the old, Isaiah 43:18, remember ye not the former things, neither consider the things of old. Amen. For behold, I do a new thing. 19. His continuation going back to Saul's house, representing the old move, then coming to David's house, representing the new move. It literally, listen to this, it cost him his inheritance. Come on, because the devil can't take your inheritance unless you willfully give it up.
Come on.
This is one thing he'll use. Cause you to go back and forth. Oh, well, they are talking about that church. I mean, I don't know how many times this week I have heard people say, oh, well, we didn't come to the church because so-and-so was talking, telling me not to go over there. And then we heard from somebody else, oh, well, so-and-so told me not to go
That's right.
to your
We do
church.
that
And then we
all
hear
the
from
time.
I mean, just within this last week, we've heard like about 3 or 4 people tell us that certain so-and-sos told them not to come here. Amen. This is what it'll do. Don't come here. It'll literally cost you your inheritance. When you're locked in to divine relationship, covenant. Amen. This is what he did because he kept going back and forth to Saul, to the old to the new. It cost him his inheritance. It cost him his divine relationship. It cost him his royal position. And it ultimately cost him his life. He died premature.
Come on.
It's serious stuff, guys. Serious stuff. Come on, sometimes we got it. As prophetic people in this hour, we've got to recognize and we've got to cut off those that are leeching on us. Bringing us into a lower level old wine mindset.
Come on, wineskins.
My ministry is being hindered at apostles, at prophetess, are trying to build their own thing. Lower level. Lower level. We're trying to build kingdom here, purpose, mandate, mission here. Don't allow it. Cut them off if you have to. Amen. That are bringing you down, continue to bring you down to that lower level where you're constantly wondering, what about my ministry? What about my vision? What about my calling? My. And it will literally hinder your royal position in the total heavenly purpose, plan, will, and way of God, with the ending results of death.
Come on.